Pat. Gentlemen, ladies, we want to express a very warm welcome to you at the White House. I think it's most appropriate that you should visit here. This house belongs, well, we're in residence temporarily. This house belongs to all the American people, and I think it symbolizes some of the best of our history. Some of you who may be Democrats will be interested to know that those trees back there were planted by one of our most distinguished Democratic presidents, Andrew Jackson. And this house, these grounds, and I hope you have a chance to look through the house, are filled with recollections of great moments in American history. I'm delighted to have you here because you and I, together, are attempting to, in the 1960s, to make it possible for our country to meet its responsibilities to our citizens at home and abroad, and also to make it possible for those who come after us to be the beneficiaries of our actions. Now, this is a difficult task, and it always is. Nothing which is important, nothing which is progressive, nothing which is new is ever accepted by those who look back to the past, who wish to stand still, who oppose every program which seeks to improve the lot of our people. But we have to go ahead, and therefore I value your support. What we are attempting to do is to provide for a legislative program plus monetary and fiscal policy which will prevent the recurring recessions which particularly marked our economic life at the end of the 50s. The recession of 1958, a recession 2 years later in 1960, all these put pressure upon the working men and women of this country. It puts pressures on the trade unions. It makes it more difficult to negotiate and bargain collectively. When you have a pool of 5 million people out of work looking for jobs, it has a depressing effect upon the entire labor market and therefore a depressing effect upon our economy. And therefore, since we've been here, we've attempted to put forward proposals dealing with minimum wage and assistance to children and doubling the amount of food which nearly 6 million Americans in this rich country of ours must depend on every month to live. Trying to change our tax structure so that the economy is stimulated, so that there'll be more jobs. And we have been able to move through the period from January 61 to today without a recession and with the prospects moving ahead if we're able to carry out our program for a very good year in 1963. So that we want you to know that while the battles may be somewhat quieter than in Washington, in some ways, than they might have been in the early 30s, but nevertheless what we're trying to do is to carry on the concept of the federal government meeting its responsibilities to keep this economy of ours moving ahead. And that's what we're attempting to do. That's what we're trying to get through the Congress. And we win or lose by 3 or 4 or 5 votes. Now, everything that we do there, everything we're able to do down here, has a direct impact on your membership. Your people work when this country is prosperous. Your people get paid well when this country is prosperous. Your people go out of work. Your people aren't paid as well when the economy is on the downturn. So we're going to do everything we can to keep it on the upturn. But we need the support of your membership and of you and others in the trade union movement who in the last 30 years have supported progressive policies and who can look back on 30 years of struggle and have found their judgment justified in the things that they supported at home and abroad have really made it possible for us to live as we've lived in the last 15 years. So I'm very glad to have you here. We've got a lot of unfinished business in this country, north, south, east, and west, and we can accomplish the job that we have before us, not just those of us who happen to sit here or in the Congress, but all of us working together. So I'm delighted to have you here this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you get a chance to spend a few minutes and visit through there.
Sure, yeah. Thank you very much.
She'll arrange to take you.
It's certainly been an honor for us to come and visit you.
Sure has.
Lots of luck to you.
See a good picture in there of Harry Truman and Franklin Roosevelt.
Good.